Hey, Helen.
Hi, Rob. So today we're looking at maths investigations, which is something that's going down in schools right now.
Yes, and it's causing a little bit of a headache and a panic.
That's why Coach in the class are here. So what is this all about?
So a maths investigation is really looking at a sustained exploration of a mathematical situation, or it's not even a problem, just a situation.
So it's not that problem solving where Mary bought 8 apples and gave 4 to the pig and
no,
that's not problem solving.
No, because that's more convergence thinking. That is problem solving in the traditional sense, where we give them the problem and then we want the answer. And that's very convergent. We all want to arrive at the same answer. Whereas our maths investigations are more open-ended, they are divergent thinking, and it's really about the process and not necessarily getting to the answer.
Awesome. That sounds really the way we like to teach anyway. So
Absolutely.
It's about exploring and playing with numbers and predicting outcomes, and yours could be different to mine.
And yes, absolutely. And it's the first time, or it's the time that children actually get to be real mathematicians and not just calculators, because that's what they are in the other sense.
So it's respecting my own thinking and my own way of getting to the answer.
Yes, absolutely. And it's also allowing you to express how you're thinking so that other people can be part of that or see that.
Metacognition, which is what we're trying to grow all the time.
Absolutely.
So actually, it's a critical thinking metacognition. It's something that's got to go down, 21st century skill.
And it should be done regularly, not just this once a year thing.
Although I was thinking maths is term 2 and English, that big exploration, is term 3. Can't we think like that?
Well, yes, for formal assessment it is. But actually, we can't just do it for a formal assessment. We need to be practicing and being exposed to it all the time, this type of thinking.
So, Rob, how did you handle this?
So I started off with phone a friend because didn't know where to start.
Do you think this is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yes. Well, I felt like I had no millions at all. And a friend shared some ideas with me, and then actually I went along and looked at
if you don't have a friend,
site.
Find a good website or ask someone to recommend a good website.
Yes.
And that's why we're here.
Yes. We went to this enrichmaths.org website. There are so many problem solving ideas there, and investigations, and all sorts of other beautiful resources.
Fantastic. So I see it's the University of Cambridge have put it out, and I went to the section for primary teachers, and it offers about 8 different things. So it was pattern solving and problem solving and
investigations and games and puzzles.
Puzzles, different aspects of problem solving.
And then also articles for teachers to read.
To explain this whole metacognition thing.
Yes.
Right. So this is a real example, and you've got a podium here. What are you trying to do?
Okay, so in my podium, I'm going to show you, I'll enlarge this in a minute, but I'm on my podium on the screen. I'm looking at these blue
tins in the middle, cylinders.
And I'm asking children, if I had to add an extra one on top here, I would need some extra red ones to make the steps even again.
Yes.
Is there a way to predict, if you know how many blue cylinders you've got, how many red cylinders you'll need?
Okay, so I would start so literally by adding 1 block onto the top of the blues.
Okay, so we've used some maths manipulatives there. I didn't use blue and red. I used brown and orange.
And so can you add 1 brown one to the top? And now you've got to add 1 to each other column.
So I'm going to add
+1. So far I'm going +1, +1, +1. And then I'm going to have to add a whole new column for the first step of the podium.
Yes. Now, Helen, as you're talking and saying how you're thinking, that is what the children have to actually write down.
So in this instance, I would have said I +1, +1, +1, and plus a whole new row.
But that doesn't make sense. How you said it in the first place, I've got to add a red one onto the red. So do you see how important it is to actually write down your actual words while you're thinking?
Yes.
I thought very differently to Helen, which is nothing unusual, is that I saw this, added my brown one on, and I thought, oh, well, I can just shift these one out.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm going to shift all my steps one block out and then pop in the extra blocks that I need.
So you also added 6, but you added them 3 + 3, which is a far more sort of conservative way of doing it, not in action.
Yeah. So
And now that
efficient.
Efficient is the right
Yeah.
word. And so now what I'm realizing, if you added 3 and 3, next time you're going to add 4 and 4.
Yes.
So I'm getting to a pattern.
Yes.
Oh, and it's such like an aha moment. Hey?
Yes. And so the learners can record this, the original thinking that we're discussing now, they would maybe record that as words, and then they might then to show their prediction is actually to put it into a table. So if I add 1 brown, I have to add so many reds.
Yes, yes.
And then if I add 2, I need so many.
And then turn it into a number formula, which is
Yes.
all quite complex. And that's that whole solving this problem and showing the teacher how I've solved it.
Yeah.
How do you mark something like this, Rob?
Okay, so let's switch screens again. You use a rubric to mark the process as opposed to the answer or the solution that the learner comes to.
Okay.
You're actually marking the process. Have they shown what they are thinking logically and clearly? Have they explored more than sort of 3 or 4 ideas?
At least 10 heights. You didn't want them to give up and say, okay, well, I've added 1 and that's it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've done, that's
Yes.
enough. They've managed to explain the rule, and that might be in words, or they might actually have done a formula depending on the age group. And then we're going to add another dimension to this. So if I can just switch screens again, is that what about if we I went back to our original problem, and instead of just adding in on to either side, what if we created a 3-dimensional problem and
Wow.
added steps like
Wow.
this? And so giving the learners a chance to explore another pattern, and then looking, is there a relationship between the first pattern and the second pattern?
Which I'm sure there is going to be logically, but I've got to work it out and then explain it, which is
Exactly.
the problem here.
Exactly.
So Rob, we'll probably have to grow into this. So
So on the screen now is the kind of problem you could put up on a maths at the beginning of a maths lesson and say to your children, right, you've got 10 minutes. Show me some thinking around this problem. What would you think? You can work in partners or in groups, in your maths book, on your page, drawing numbers, whatever you need to do. Show me your thinking.
Knowing that there has to be logical thinking, and it says a pet shop has 7 pets and you've got to choose 3 on each visit. I would stick with a cat as my regular and go cat, dog, snake. Then the next time I'd leave out the dog and go cat, snake, mouse. Then the next time I'd leave out the dog and the snake and go, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm creating a pattern.
Yes. And the way that you think and the way that I might approach it would be probably quite different.
So long as I can explain it,
yes,
I'm okay.
Yes. And
I
so
like this.
Exactly. And then you could extend it by saying you can do 3 different patterns or 4 different patterns, depending on, 4 different animals as you buy in the pet shop, depending on your age group.
Mm-hmm. So this is what's happening this term is maths investigations.
Yes.
It looks like a whole lot of fun. It looks like the kind of thing that we really should be doing for 21st century thinking. So I'm all for it.
Absolutely. And also making it fun and exciting for the children so that it doesn't matter if you're not a good calculator.
I love the fact that we can think about it differently and
Yes.
my answer and yours can both be right.
Yes. Isn't
Awesome.
that cool?
Yeah, awesome.
Quite interesting for maths.
I'm into this. So till next week.
Have a wonderful week. Good luck with your investigations. Let us know how they're going. Send us some pictures.
And any problems?
Yeah, I'll be on it.